Alright, in this video I'm going to make this boot here, and you can see I loaded the image here through this image plane. This is in the properties, and I'm in Orthographic View. Keep an eye on the text here where my cursor's at in the upper left hand corner. And you can click the text and you can see different views that you're in. And to be in Orthographic View, there's a little icon down here. Sometimes you have to double click it, and sometimes single click it. So what it does is, one is Perspective View, click it again for Orthographic View. We want to be in Orthographic View to get started, and we're going to use the interpolated curve. And we're going to copy the, or trace the back half of the boot here. And I'm going to click here, 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 and double click to finish. More straighter, the less clicking, the more curvature, the more clicking. Alright, we're going to do one for the front of the boot, and we're going to use the interpolated curve. As you can see, my cursor to the left of it, I don't know if you can see in the video, there's a white line. I want to align it somewhere approximately to the back of the boot, top of the point there. Just eyeball, and don't have to be perfect. So we're just going to eyeball it and click here. 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 Click here, and double click to finish here. Alright, now I'm going to use this polyline, and I'm going to tap the space bar so it goes into one axis. Let me select that again. I'll make it a little bit longer, and I'm going to validate it. It's got 2 points, as you can see over here, there's 2 points, and I want to keep the points down small as I can because I'll keep the polygons down. But I need enough points in this line here to follow the curve on the back of this boot, because we're going to be using this option to match these the bend option. So anyway, I need enough points, but not too many. So we're going to add them by increased smoothing. As you can see, I got 4 here. I'm just going to collapse DG because I know this is going to work for number 4. Because what I want to do is I want to stop at an even number, which 4 is going to be even, but I want to increase it to another even number, but a little bit higher, because 4 just ain't going to bend around here. So I'm going to keep it at 16. And I'm going to go ahead and get a copy of this and paste this on the other side. We're going to be using this later on. And we're going to select this one here, and we're going to use this bend option and select here. And we're going to slide this over here. Now when I scale this to fit this, I don't grab the cubes on the manipulator. I want to grab the center cube, which is going to scale it uniform. I'll move it up here and take a look at this. And you can see they're perfect. It follows the contour of the other line, so we'll just delete that one. And we're going to bring over here. Now I use equal spacing because it's going to produce good geometry. You might want to use it on everything that's got a lot of curvature. If you got something straight beside this boot, you won't need all that equal spacing because sometimes it's just not needed. So we'll select this one here and bend tool and select here. Now we'll just go over here and match it. So you can see it's a little too short, but we're going to grab this cube and we're going to just eyeball it. As you can see there, that's going to match that right there. So we'll delete that one there. Just a little bit. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hide this one here. Alright, when I turn this around, look at the dihedron here, this image plane. I want to get this, keep an eye, I want it so the floor one is highlighted, so when I tip it, when I see it pop in there, there it went. That's where I want it at. This is going to let my next object lay flat on the plane the way as you see it right here. I'm going to use this circle from center, and it's going to be this one that's got the 2 highlighted dots. I messed with it earlier, so you're probably going to see a little different settings. So I'm going to hold the shift key, snap to here, and hold the shift key and snap to here. This by default is 20, but I set it to 16 to match the other one, so I'm going to validate that. Another thing is when you do this with even numbers, when you connect to this one line and this line, they'll match up perfectly. If they have an odd number, it probably won't. So, since you know that, we're going to scale this in something like a boot here. And as you can see, I got the bottom of the boot highlighted. And we're going to go ahead and activate that here. So that's going to look like this. And we're going to go ahead and use this double sweep. As you can see, the bottom of the boot highlighted green. Select here and here. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that transparency is active. And there's some options here which are not doing anything, so that's okay. We'll leave that alone. As you can see, if there's any adjustment in the boot that we need to do, we could actually just grab one of these curves and do anything that we want with it. Or we can do that later. So I'm just going to collapse this. I don't like this to build up too much. Alright, now we need to activate the symmetry because I want to get the one side of the boot and the other side. So we need to find out the image plane. We're going to split it in half. And we're going to start with the front of the boot here, and we're going to bring this down. And we're going to start with the next one. And work our way around. I'm actually looking to the right as I'm going along, even though I'm grabbing this one here. I'm still looking to the right. And we're going to get them kind of perfect, but not too perfect. Because, you know, as you can see right here, it's got a little jag right here. Not a big problem, because when we increase the smoothing, it's going to smooth itself out. And you can see all the way around. Now we're starting to get the shape. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and remove the subdivision. I'm going to either use it here or up here. So I like doing it down here. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm in edge mode, and we're going to loop this here. And this boot here is probably not the best to trace because it's got a little perspective to it, but it'll be okay in this case. So, and we're going to loop it. Then we're going to hold the control key, and we're going to bring this down just a little bit. And let go. Manipulator, control key is still held down. I just got to keep held down. And do it one more time, and do one right here. We're going to subdivide it once, and then we're going to collapse the DG. This is going to give it some more polygons so we can do the holes in the boot for the shoelaces, or the bootlaces, or whatever you want to call them. Alright, we got the boot facing towards us, and if I select here and loop this, you can see this is the center of the boot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some boot holes here for the bootlaces or shoelaces, whatever you call them. And I want to eyeball it one over on this side here. And I'm going to hold the shift key and skip every other one. And I'm going to, here's the center right here. I'm going to skip one and do the same for the other side. Hold the shift key down. Yep. I'm going to redo that one there. And I'll do another one here. Alright, now all these are highlighted. Now I want to use the chamfer. and set the range down to 0 and bring this up. Now you need to bring it up far enough where it won't exceed over the top of another edge over here. So kind to stay about, that is over exceeding it there, so you want to stay about a little more than halfway because we're going to be doing something else. So we're going to validate that. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to select each one of these polygons here. And go to the vertex modeling, and you're going to use this edge tool. I'm going to use the second one, and I'm just going to bring this out just a little bit. Let go. Alright, with all these selected here, use a sweep surface. As you can see, it's going to kind of go all over the place until I tap the space bar, and you want it to go so they're not flopping around. And insert it in the hole, and just click it once and press the enter key. And we're going to go ahead and select all these here, and we're going to end up deleting all these little squares out of here. Press the delete key, subdivide this, take a look. Alrighty. And we're going to go ahead and just do one side. We're going to bring these up just a little bit. All we need to do is select one, it don't matter where. This little loop inside here, and we're going to loop it. Make sure they're all highlighted. We're going to use a sweep surface. We're going to tap the space bar once again so it goes directly in and out in a straightforward fashion. Click once, press the enter key to validate it. Let's take a look at that. We want to soften the edges up. What we need to do is we can select the edges here. Loop that. I'll give this some subdivision so I can see what's going to go on just a little bit. I'll turn this back off, sorry about that. And we're going to go and use this edge tool here. And we're going to bring this down just a little bit. And that's going to soften the hole up just a little bit. When I inserted the hole, that's what probably made it made the exterior of this hole a little bit sharp. So if you want to smooth them out, you can do it like that. And I'll pause the video and do the other side. Alright, got that done. As you can see here, I got the shoelace holes here. They're kind of oblong, but I have another video if you want to make them a perfect circle. These ain't too bad, but they'll work for now. It's just a little tweaking that you got to do yourself. Alright, we'll go on to the next step. Alright, we're going to go ahead and remove the subdivision here, and we're going to add some thickness here. We're going to loop this, and I'm just going to pull up just a little bit. Hold the control key down. I'm just going to scale in just a little bit. I'll give this a little bit of subdivision so we can kind of visualize what's going on. Hold the control key, and we're going to drag in just a little bit. I'm holding the control key down, and every time I click on the manipulator and let go, it just makes another loop here. And I'll add some more subdivision, and I'm going to bring this ring around to about comes outside of the boot right there, and bring this down approximately where the other lines are at, and just bring it in a little bit where we can't see anything outside the boot. That looks pretty good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and select approximately this edge here. And I want to get the one across from it. Select between. Kind of give it that heel look. And we'll loop it. Let me turn some of this stuff off here. I'm going to go ahead and collapse this here. Remove the history, sorry about that. Loop that again. I'm going to grab this cube here and hold the control key down and bring this in. I'll bring it in about right here. I'm going to scale it this way so I can see a little bit up in here what's going on. And I'm going to go ahead and that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and select this one here and delete it. Point. And the back one and delete it. And we're going to go ahead and select this one here and loop it. And we're going to go ahead and bridge these two together. I was doing this so I don't get any pitching down here, so what I'll do is I will close the hole and select here and here. And I'll need to connect these back over here with this slate tool. I am holding the shift key. Shift key, hold the shift key. You can see I got this edge here. Now I need to stick one between all these, so I'll select all these and ring them and use the connect. Some way it did not connect these, so I'll have to manually set these in myself. Not working, let's go ahead and try welding all these, see what's going to happen. Average weld. Alright, let's select this one in here and let's try connect, see if this will work. There it goes. Select here, shift here. And let's subdivide it. Alright, looking a little bit better now. The reason why I deleted one of these edges up here, because what happens is when these lines all edges start bunching up together into one point, they got some pinching, so I kind of brought this out a little bit. And it just takes a little getting used to. Yeah, I did screw some stuff up in the video a little bit, but it takes a lot of time to correct the video once you get going. So I'm just going to leave everything the way I'm going here. So I'm going to select the, let's say, this one, and loop it. I had to loop it twice. And we can bring this out just a little bit. Alright, not looking too bad. As you can see, I got a little sharp edge down here. What I can do to fix that, let's go ahead and select right here. We're going to loop this. And we're going to use, the reason why it's doing that, we're going to go ahead and use this one here. The reason why it's doing that, I got two edges really close together and it's causing that to do that. So we'll just kind of spread them apart a little bit. As you notice, when I got the subdivision on, when you pull on this, one way it looked like you're pulling down, but it's pulling vice versa. If that made any sense. What I'm saying is if you drag up, the line will go down. If you drag down, the line goes up. That's because there's subdivision levels. So let me just show you a little demonstration what I'm talking about here. You know I'm blabbling. So if I was to use the edge tool and pull up, the line goes up. You see that? Control Z that. Now I'm going to use subdivision levels here. We'll do the same thing. I'm going to pull up. Now it made a fool out of me. But anyway. Alright, we're going to add a little lip on here on the back. We'll start about, let's say, here. Yeah, what I'm going to have to do, I was going to ring it, but it's going around the wrong side. So what I'll have to do is just go ahead and shift click delete these. Eyeballing to make sure it's on the other side perfectly. Looks like it is. Then I'm going to hold the control key down and drag over here, straight down. Let go. Hold the control key and drag this little red cube. Let go. And we'll pull that back just a little bit. A little subdivision we can kind of see a little bit. We'll scale it out just a little bit here. And if you want to soften it up some, let me go ahead and double click out here so we can see it playing like this. And if you want to soften it up some, we can lower the subdivision level. Let's activate Cemetery, Utilities, UVs and Paints. We're going to just use the soften brush, and we're going to soften this up. So you can see it kind of bled a little bit there. Alright, while we're kind of still at our low subdivision level here, we might want to do a little bit of shaping. When you push and pull on this thing, you can select the face here, kind of where the inside of the back of the foot is, and we can hold the shift key and add or subtract the numpad with the plus and minus key. And if you're going to do any pushing and pulling, turn on soft selection, so when you do pull on it, it'll be all kind of soft and it won't be all jagged up. Be careful around the hose right there so we don't offset them too much. And for a final look, we'll subdivide that and take a look. Looks better. If you want to make a little flap here, we can just actually select here, below it, select between, hold the control key and just drag over this way. Of course, we'll probably have to select a few here. And hold the control key and just drag a little bit. Alright, let's do the other side. Between, control key and drag. Make sure you don't select on certain things. As you can see, I selected on some of these edges right here, which I probably shouldn't have did. Control key and drag. And you can kind of give it that look right there. I'll go back to the video, and I kind of don't like this, but Control Z that way back. And if you that's one way you can do it, or you could just go ahead and, you want to make a tongue section, control key and drag. Hold the control key and drag in. It's kind of whatever you want. That don't look too bad, but this video, I don't care for it. Kind of like the way it looks, plain like that. Just whatever you want. Alright, we're going to need to bump it up another level on the smooth, and we're going to collapse the dynamic geometry to add more polygons. And I'm going to select somewhere. Select here and loop this twice, hide it. That way when I select here, and I hold the shift key down and the plus sign on the numpad, this is going to add just on the upper half. And we're going to hide that. That way we can select this here. And we can select 1 over n. Let's see what 2 looks like. Let's see what 4 looks like. Don't want to have a lot in here because it could cause you to crash. We'll just go ahead and validate that. And we're going to go ahead and use this here. It's going to be real jumpy. Tap the space bar and bring down just a little bit. Click once, press enter key. Don't move your mouse a lot. A lot of information here, so there's your pattern of your boot. I want to hide this here. And you can, if you want to add some more later, like let's say I wanted to add some right here. Loop this. Selection 1 over n. Oops. Let's go a different route on that. There's another one down here. Gotta loop it again so you can bring it up. Set this to 2. As you can see, they're staggered across from each other. If not, you could use this offset. So we're gonna go ahead and try this again with this here. Tap spacebar. Be very slow. what you do, click once and press enter key. You can double click, but if you double click and start moving around real fast, I would just imagine it would probably just freeze you up. So you got to be very careful what you do. And there's your treads on your boots. Don't care for the bumpy look. That can be fixed, but I think that'll get you up and running, and thank you very much. Let's change the material on here and take a look at this.